Episode 188. No act of kindness is ever wasted, no matter how small.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And it's hump day here at the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. So, you're probably wondering why we are kind of scooping up the idea of kindness again. And I was kind of contemplating that we hadn't been down that road for quite a while, honestly. And since that last time we went down that road, actually, this has really crossed my path quite a couple of times. You know, being kind to other people for no particular reason. And so that's why I wanted to outline and remind in this episode what positive influences kindness can have not only on others that you are kind to, but what influence kindness can have on yourself. You know, getting back to our egoist listeners. So, that being said, housekeeping thoughts my own. If they don't, whatever, you know the drill. Sharing is caring, so please share not only this but every episode. Not only, don't keep it for yourself, but if you know someone that could benefit from that particular episode that you listened to, and while you were listening to it, you thought, hey, that person could really, be a bit more kind, and perhaps that's a push over the cliff, or this episode is a push over the cliff for them. It's totally worth sharing that episode with them through your favorite podcast app, and or go to the very best podcast in the world.com, and under each and every episode and page and whatnot, there's a big, huge list of flashy, shiny, blinking. I don't know if they're blinking, but maybe over exaggerating here. But in any case, there are loads of social media sharing thingamajiggers, and, just use whatever pleases you, but get the message out to those people, because sharing is caring. And I promised I would bust your balls quite a few episodes ago, and I will do so every single day. Now that we have that off the table, let's get started. So why should you be kind to people in the first place? Right? It's a sign of strength, really. And there are going to be, if you reflect correctly, missed opportunities of kindness. And let me tell you why I'm saying that. A few years ago, I was driving home from the office, and on the sidewalk, there was a blind lady with her service dog waiting to cross the street. And I was on the phone having, a conversation with someone. Don't recall who it was. Was intense in any case. And the road was jam-packed, and you could see that the pooch was, having a hard time giving her the signal when to cross the street, because, he looked rather old, but an interesting situation. I only became aware of it when I saw that lady again a few years later. And similar situation, the pooch had passed into Rainbow Land, obviously, because she had a new one. And also, that one also, because the road was just, it was a main road that we were that I was driving on. This time I was on the phone as well. And however, I was more aware of her because I had this kind of deja vu moment and stopped the car, put on the warning thingamajiggers, got out of the car and helped her and the pooch across the street. And obviously the cars in the other direction were stopping also because they saw, there was one jerk off honking. But you always have assholes. But nonetheless, people were kind of flabbergasted by this. And I just thought that this lady was, really having a fucked up time. And I, then pulled over the car and we had a quick chat. And I said, look, I saw you a few years ago and I was unaware, not aware enough to do what I did today. And she was, insanely grateful. That honestly made her day. You could really feel that somebody would presumably go through the trouble of stopping a car to actually let her across the street. And why did I take this example? Well, because it was kind of karma, or whatever it was. Maybe a parallel universe that, brought her back to that exact spot when, I was driving by it. And it was just so interesting to see that I got the opportunity to do right what I had done wrong earlier. So kind of, getting a second chance to do or to present an act of kindness. And the moment you're kind to someone, you'll uplift them. No matter how happy they are, if they're, 101% happy and you hold the door for someone, right? Or, just write them a note, just a very simple thank you card, for, or a very brief thank you email, or, nowadays WhatsApp or Telegram or Signal or whatever, iMessage, you name it. Just thanking someone, right, for something they have done for you. That's kindness. Holding the door for someone is kindness. Now, a lot of times, I'll leave a building and just hold the door for the person behind me because, you just do it. It's kind of like a reflex more than an intentional thing that you do. However, the person behind you will more likely than not notice this act of kindness. And, that's the not expecting a reward part about it, right? I think, if you can internalize certain acts of kindness, at least, you'll make other people's lives a lot more comfortable and a lot more happy. These acts of kindness don't even need to be seen, right? Like very simple fucking things. What I started with quite a few years ago when I left a hotel room, when I checked out of a hotel, I would just get all the sheets off the bed, all the bedding, and just, throw them in one corner of the room, including the towels, because, what do you normally do in a hotel room? When you're getting dressed, you're on the phone, usually, on your first call. There's nothing, you're just sitting there staring out the window at the end of the day. So you might as well make use of the time. And the cleaning lady, she's going to be eternally grateful. You probably never met her, right? But it'll take that 30 seconds off of her, whatever 6 minutes and 30 seconds she has to clean the room, which will just, make her day 30 seconds shorter, her work day. Now you're saying, well, okay, yeah, 30 seconds, big deal. No, but imagine you're in the room next door, you do the same thing. That's a minute. That's a minute of time you gave to that person. You gifted that person, which you would have otherwise wasted doing stupid shit. Let's be honest. or, you can do it parallel. It works. Trust me. And by that, you just make that person more happy, because you're giving her a minute of your time and you're not taking it away from yours, right? So, no act of kindness is ever going to be irrelevant. Getting back to holding the door open, yeah, big deal, right? But maybe the person behind you is actually noticing that you're, doing something good, despite the fact that you've internalized such gestures so deeply that you don't even notice them anymore. And that's what I think just lifts people's mood. You lift people's mood. It's a simple, the simplest form really of that is just giving a smile to someone, for no particular reason. If they're sitting there with their frowny face, give them a smile, because maybe they're having a bad day or whatever, but a smile usually, bears a smile in return. And that's the simplest act of kindness you can, gift to someone, and beside that, it's just any act of kindness that you do will just increase their life's spirit. Just another example while I'm thinking of cars, I've mentioned this in one of the previous episodes. There was a handicapped guy walking on the sidewalk, and it was raining and he was drenched and, whatever not. And I kind of turned around at the next light and, just picked the dude up and said, hey, because he was going obviously in the direction that I was driving to. And, there wasn't too much of a detour that I would have to make to drop him off wherever he wanted to. But, you could see he was struggling. So it was like, pick the drenched dude up, put him in the car seat, just take him, because he was really having a hard time walking. And still, in that city where I had my office at the time, if I'm there, the guy's going to be eternally grateful. And we still, I still don't know his name, no idea. But when we meet, we look at each other, shake our heads, and it's just this, great feeling that spans over years, and that's really, really, really interesting and uplifting and motivating. So that's what this podcast is about. So in that sense, let me not steal too much more of your hump day. It's well deserved. And hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday. Be kind to other people. If you've already had your Wednesday, have a good night. And be kind to the person you're cuddling up next to. And we'll be in touch tomorrow. See you, folks. Bye-bye.